Today's Friday. We open up phone lines. People call into the show. We drop the bombs. It's a black show with a black host named Tim Black with a black jacket, and we do some truth telling, and some people enjoy it. So we keep doing it. We just keep showing up because we got people that like it. So we just keep doing it, and we're hard headed. We won't go away no matter what the algorithm does to us. We come back. Look a little bit like Rocky in the first Rocky. Eyes knocked shut. It's ugly, man. Oh, that face. Oh, Jesus Christ. But we keep coming back, Johnson, because Apollo is going to die soon. And we're going to get, well, actually, he beats Apollo at some point. So this is the show, man. This is the truth. This is the Truth Bomb Show. I want everyone to hit like on this thing because let me make sure people can hear me first. I get ahead of myself, man. I tend to get ahead of myself just a little bit. Here we go. We got some people in the house. Could you share this thing out? Could we share it? Could we like it? Could let people know we're in the house? Black, biggity, black, biggity, big, black. Riley the Content Boutique, Nade. I see my people. I see my moderators as well. Black Magic, D. I see you, Tony. I see you, Nat. I see the crew in the house. Don, what's up, Don? What's up, Sheldon? What's up, Shogun? I see my squads in the house. I appreciate y'all. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I tell you, man, and sometimes it's dope when we bounce information off each other because one of my people here got me thinking about some stuff, man. Yeah, you got me thinking about some stuff. So, it is what it is. We're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it tonight. That's what's up. We're gonna get into it tonight. And look, guys, if you are not a member of the Tim Black Show, if you are like contemplating, if you're trying to figure out like, do I wanna rock with this? Do I wanna do this? I want you to know, yes, you wanna do this. You know why you wanna do this? Because it makes sense, Johnson. It just makes sense. There it is. It makes sense because why would you not want to be a part of a show like this? A show that's interactive. One of the original call-in shows on the internet. When people were still having those one-way conversations, they ain't want nobody to call them up and put them on the spot. We've been doing this, Johnson. We've been doing this. All of a sudden, everybody caught religion want to have a call-in show. Yeah, they know they better do something to spice up that show. As boring as y'all is. But I got the callers galore in this joint. Good up for my callers in here, y'all. Y'all have no idea how we put it down. But you're going to learn today, Johnson. You're going to learn today, Johnson. Wow. So, look, I got a couple stories I want to run through. Get it going. Then the phone lines will open, and then people will call up. So, here it is. Do I have a story? I mean, I don't want to be a downer. Let's not be a downer. I do have something that's on my head a little bit. I do. I had this thing that's been really been grinding my nerves a little bit, like grinding my gears is what they'd say, grinding my gears. But I tell you, man, I've been doing this political thing too long, man. Grinding my gears. Stripping the nut, stripping the bolt. You strip the... Here's the deal, guys. As bad as things are, as bad as they are, Johnson, everyone can see how horrible it is. I don't care who you are. There's so many problems. People talking about inflation. People talking about shootings. People talking about just a lack of decency in the average human being walking around. I mean, don't get me twisted. I get it, but check this out. Hasn't it always sucked? Yeah, I'm just keeping it 100, Johnson. Hasn't it always been pretty bad? Hadn't it always been pretty bad? I remember my mom used to say, Tim, we are living in the last days. We are living in the last days. My mom been saying that for 50 years. We are living in the last days. Yeah? It's always been the last days. Man, this place has always been on the verge of disintegration. Every generation says the same thing. It's over. It's done. The empire will fall. America's a cesspool. Forget about it. And you think it's bad now? Just remember all the water hoses, the dogs, the lynchings, the cops killing us in the streets. Sounds a little bit like Ferguson and Standing Rock. And pretty much any place you go where there's black people and cops. I don't know. But get what I'm saying? Like, not a lot has changed. It's been horrible. Now, if you're a young person, you're coming up and you're going, oh my God, we got to fix this world. What kind of world did you leave us? Leave us. What kind of shit, what kind of place is this? This is not good. Well, look, welcome to it. I didn't make this place this way. They didn't want to hear what I had to say. We don't control anything that's going on here. This is not the way I wanted to leave it for you. I really didn't. But it's this thing called, where I grew up, when I first got my first job wearing a shirt and a tie, because that's all I could afford, no suit. I thought I had arrived. Yeah, I said, oh man, I made it. I got a shirt on, it's got a tie, it's got some mustard on it, but it's still a tie. I made it. And then I got in that company and I realized it was all a lie. It was bogus. It was horrible. It wasn't great. People weren't happy to be there. Folks, I worked on jobs and I thought I was doing something. Man, there were people there that worked harder at trying to avoid work than they actually worked. I said they worked harder trying to avoid work than actually worked because the job sucked and their morales were low. People were pissed off. And as I moved about into other positions upon my life and doing different things, trying to read books, I was a self-help book reading. That shelf has a lot of self-help shit on it too. I realized when people used to tell me stuff like, Tim, you got to play the game. Folks, everybody's been playing the game. Everywhere I went, people were playing the game. They were pretending to be happy. They're pretending to like what they were doing. They were pretending they were going along to get along, to survive. It wasn't because they wanted to. It's because they saw no other way to do it. And they wanted to live indoors because America is a country. Well, if you don't go along with it, you can talk all that shit if you want. You will be outside. You'll be outside and people will step over you. America's a country where we'll pick your dog up off the sidewalk and take him to a shelter and we'll leave you on the ground to freeze. America's a country where they put barbed wire on the grates, on the steam grates in the winter so that the homeless don't find heat. You want to stand up for something, they'll be like, okay, you can stand up if you want to. All I'm saying, man, these things it didn't just happen. People want to act like it just happened last week, like Trump did it. No, Trump was the Hail Mary from a lot of people going, I don't like him, I don't like her, fuck it. Please, somebody catch it. When you bet the house on an unknown, on a guy whose motto was, you're fired, when you bet the house on a guy who said, just grab him by the change purse, half of America bet on this guy. People act like it was just a small group of people that live in their basements and eat nachos with jalapenos and have bad gas and never put on deodorant. No, half of the country that votes, more than half of the people in the country who voted for him. That's what you got to understand. Millions of people came out. So, no, man, I don't buy into this thing. We're at the end. I don't know if we're at the end or not. I think we're always at the end. If you listen to Chris Hedges, we're at the end of the end. All I'm saying, folks, is, one, it's always been bad. Young people take heart, it's always been bad. Okay, he's always had his issues. Go back 50 years, black people couldn't even vote safely, if at all. They had poll taxes. Imagine going up to vote. They said, how much money you got? You better have money to pay this poll tax. Against the law, but they could do it. Little black girls are getting spit on by grown-ass white women for trying to go to school with those grown-ass white women's grandchildren or children. And some of those nice white women that were spitting on the little black babies are now liberals. Man, I'm telling you. So it's always been bad, Johnson. And I know that's not going to give you the warm and fuzzies, but I want to give you some determination. And I also want to give you a reality check. You people that want to run around with your head cut off talking about the sky's falling, it already fell. If you didn't know the sky was falling, that's because you've been living under a different sky, Johnson. Black people are 13, 14% of the population, 2% of the wealth. Black women make up 2% of female lawyers. Black men make up 2% of male doctors. And then you got the nerve to say, what's wrong? Then you want to talk about Juneteenth. So we got some fundamental problems in this country, and that's just one set of people with one set of grievances. What about all the homeless people? Yeah, it's a lot of homeless people. I'm sorry, unhoused. We find polite ways to say, you're screwed. And it would be different if this was a country that could not afford to do better. This is a country that could pay reparations to black Americans and form of the descendants of the formerly enslaved, the freedmen of America. We could pay it. And those people ain't gonna do nothing but go back and buy property and buy shit with it and recycle it through our economy, and we'd all do better. But you know what? Some people will be upset because they don't want to see other people do as well as them. This is a country where we could provide health care for every man, woman, and child. Other countries do it. We already pay taxes, but 40% of our budgets go where? To police forces. This is a country where we put our young people in monstrous debt. We put our children in debt. We tell you have to get an education. Then you go get an education, put yourself in so much debt that when you die, you still owe money to the state. And you cannot discharge the debt even under bankruptcy. Thanks, Joe Biden. Now that same president somehow got elected. And that's bad enough when you think about it. That guy got elected. That's how disconnected we are from reality. And I don't tell you all this to make you feel upset or pissed off, but it's a reality check. This is what you have. This is what it is. I believe that without us speaking truth to power, telling it like it is, we are doomed. The only way we got a shot at changing this around is if people's attitudes change. And the only way people's attitudes will change is if they become informed. And if they become informed, then you got a shot of people taking action. But if people don't become informed, people are not going to be active. And if people don't get active, then we're going to stay the same way we've been. Screwed. There are people I disagree with all the time. But some of those people are fighting for the same things I'm fighting for. And I like to believe some of them just have a different way of doing it. Support independent media. We're trying to drown out the cable news media that's lying to the people for profit. For the sake of all the babies, let's keep going. Let's keep trying. Let's keep fighting. Hashtag keep going. Hashtag fight back. Hashtag something's got to give. All right, folks. Whew. That makes sense. Who's with me, Johnson? Who's with me? Who feels what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm coming from, baby? Can you smell what the rock is cooking? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, fam? Do you know where I'm coming from? All right. I got a couple of story ideas, a couple stories, things that popped up on my radar that I wanted to bring up. Damn, I said radar. Can I even say that now? I might have to have them cut the air on down this joint. This is, I'm sweltering. Are you ready to start the show? I want to start the show. Can you hit like? I need some shares, Johnson. Share the show, Johnson. Share the show. If you're watching the show, share the show. Hit the like button. Hit the like button and share the show. Whether you're on Facebook or Twitch or Instagram or Twitter or Twitch or wherever you are, LinkedIn, wherever you are, share the show, Johnson. Come on now. Hit a like. Hit a like. We want to equal the number of likes to the number of people that are watching the show. So, 20 likes. Moderators, thank you for being here, Johnson. Thank you for being here on a Friday night, Johnson. On a Friday night. Woo! Notorious. What happened? Okay, there we go. Oh, Hypnotic Game and YouTube said cut the check. Okay. That's the spirit. That's the spirit, my brother. Cut the check. Cut the damn check. That's what I'm talking about. Bose, what's going on, man? Bose said meditate. Okay. I'll try anything. Sign of the Times, Bose Einstein in the house. Black Magic in the house. D1 in the house. Yes. So, let's get it going. Thank you, Mrs. Black, for cutting on the air. Mrs. Black is a winner, Johnson. I love this woman. She's like a chicken dinner. Boy, I tell you, winner, chicken dinner. That's what I'm telling you. All right. We start tonight's show off. How many people know who Michael Avenatti is? Michael Avenatti, you know who he is. He's that guy the Democrats kept making it seem like. I remember Michael Avenatti was a lawyer. He was a lawyer. He never practiced law again. Michael Avenatti was the poster boy. He was the poster boy of the Democratic Party. They loved this guy. They wanted you to believe that Michael Avenatti was the future of the Democratic Party. This guy was a fundraising mastermind. He'd walk into those Beverly Hills, where those what's those places? In the hills of New York, in the richest enclaves, and just raise money for candidates. This guy had it all, Johnson. How many people know what I'm talking about? Michael Avenatti. And I hope I'm saying his name right. This guy. Oh, God, I heard so many comments about, he's smoldering his smoldering good looks. Oh, Michael Avenatti. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, I love him. And that was Asian women. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, this guy was everywhere and everyone was talking about him. But I had a sneaking suspicion that he was full of shit. Yeah, he was full of shit, and I knew, I was like, this guy is just he's too Italian. So he represented Stormy Daniels, who said that Donald Trump, I forget what she accused him of. Said she had a relationship with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump denied it, and then he defamed her, and then she sued, and then all this stuff happened. I forget exactly what happened. I don't know if I think she said she wanted to sleep with Trump. I think it was a consensual relationship, but she came out and it just looked bad, but Trump didn't care. And by this point, nothing could hurt Trump. It only made him stronger. At a certain point, no matter what the Democrats threw at Donald Trump, it just made him stronger. It was like a Scooby snack. He got invincible. In fact, any attacks from cable news media, from the Democratic establishment, only seem to bolster Donald Trump's fame and also solidify the fact that he was right, that they were out to get him, and that it was all partisan bullshit, and it only helped his cause more. So the more they came after Donald Trump, the more it helped Donald Trump. But Avenatti was like the poster boy for going after Donald Trump, and he would be on Twitter giving Trump the business, or trying to anyway. And then it fucking happened. The guy that people were saying should run for president against Donald Trump, Avenatti, the guy that was whispers all across Pennsylvania Avenue, up and down this damn area where I'm at. All across the Washington, D.C. area was talk about Avenatti being the guy. No one was talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden? Shit. He was a cautionary tale, a 3-time loser, has been a who did it and what, a who did it and why. No one was talking about fucking Joe Biden. Now, and to this day, folks, I believe that something happened with Avenatti. He pissed off the wrong person. Well, it happened. It all came tumbling down for Avenatti. All of a sudden, out of the blue, he was working these high-priced cases, and then it happened, Johnson. It happened. Pretty boy Blue got bamboozled. This disgraced Trump foe Michael Avenatti weeps as he is sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for Nike extortion scheme. That's right. Now, I don't know anything about the evidence, but somehow in a court of law, they ruled that Michael Avenatti, the branch attorney who became a leading foe of then-President Donald Trump, was sentenced Thursday to 30 months in prison for a brazen bot scheme to extort athletic appeal giant Nike out of 25 million Samoans. Somehow I don't think that's correct. Dollars. Anyway, so that didn't work for him. And I said, wow, that sucks. This guy's life is garbage, Johnson. This is, what did he do? Who did he piss off? This guy. So he tried to swindle $25 million. I still don't know. I saw no evidence. I don't know. I guess it was out there. But the guy they said should be president, who should run against Trump. Why is there not a conspiracy theory floating around Avenatti's downfall? That maybe Joe Biden and the Democratic establishment has something to do with it. Maybe Biden was in line, and Avenatti tried to jump the line, and gotcha! So he got sentenced for this, the Nike extortion thing. This is in 2021. But see, Avenatti's kind of slippery. He's kind of slippery. They wanted the fans on Michael Avenatti to start prison term now for the Nike extortion conviction. Folks, I BS you not, I didn't know this until today. Michael Avenatti, the cocky guy we'd see on these interviews, this guy was crying, blubbering, crying. We're talking snot bubbles in the courtroom, blubbering like a baby, because the conviction meant the loss of his law license, won't be able to practice law. And oh yeah, jail! So, folks, what I'm trying to tell you is that I thought it was over. I thought that would be the wrap of it, but it's not. I mean, that's bad enough, Johnson. You go from being the guy who's the go-to guy for the Democratic Party, the guy taking on Donald Trump, the then president of the United States, calling them Trumpy names, calling him names to his face on Twitter, and winning some of those arguments too, at least holding your own, to being a guy that's a cautionary tale, an extortioner, a rat, a thief, a swindler. Low down dirty bum. I mean, it's a saying. What's that saying? Be a man. Be a robber. At least be a robber. This guy extorted. Like, he tried to swindle. He tried to blackmail Nike. Think of the balls on this guy to try to blackmail Nike. But like I said, it's not over, Johnson, because a new conviction was just handed down. There we go. A new conviction was handed down for this guy. This time, Avenatti sentenced to 4 years in prison for defrauding Stormy Daniels. Oh, God. This is it, man. Talk about a two-time loser. Two-time loser, Johnson. I'm telling you, there is nothing redeemable about this. This is horrible. This is saddening. This is just... And here's what I know. Avenatti, who was convicted in February on charges of wire fraud and aggravated identity theft for stealing nearly $300,000 from Stormy Daniels. Avenatti begged Stormy Daniels to drop this. He pleaded with her on camera on the courthouse steps. Please, I'm so sorry. Please, no. Not in my house. It didn't work. Now, here goes the situation. The only saving grace for Avenatti is he will be able to serve his sentences consecutive, meaning, I guess it's consecutive. Concurrently, that's it. Concurrently, not consecutively. Concurrently. So he's got 5 years in prison total. I'm sorry. Avenatti is currently already serving, stemming from his case against Nike. Part of the new prison sentence will be served alongside the jail sentence Avenatti is currently already serving, stemming from his case against Nike. Avenatti faces 5 years in prison total. This is reported by Reuters. District Judge Jess Furman described Avenatti's conduct as so brazen and egregious. Furman added that Avenatti took advantage of a vulnerable victim, giving her an orthodox career and somewhat unorthodox beliefs. So my bad, it doesn't sound like concurrent, does it? Because then he would only do a total of 4 years. He was sentenced last year to 2.5 years in prison for extorting Nike for attempting to extort Nike for $25 million. And now it's another 4 years. But he already served a year. So it's a total of 5 more years. Avenatti, who's 50 years old, won't be out for a while. I don't know anything about parole, what's the parole opportunities or whatever they have. But the point I'm getting at is, when a guy like Avenatti goes to jail for something like this, it makes you think. Because I got to believe that there had to be ways out for him. I mean, this guy was everywhere. Folks, how many of you remember how big this guy was at one time? But I like to see the evidence. Did he do this? Part of me wants to say, I don't know. Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe it's a setup. But there's another part of me that thinks this guy is so cocky, so arrogant, so full of himself that he would think he could get away with this. That he could extort a very high-profile person, pad his books to the tune of $300,000 overcharging her. There's also something here about identity theft. I don't know where that came in at. I thought maybe he just put an extra zero here and there when he was doing his billable hours, like most lawyers do. The downfall of Avenatti. I can't say I feel bad for him, but I can say, if they put a guy like this behind bars, this should say you better make sure you pay your taxes and your tickets. Because if they want you, they gonna get you. All right, Johnson. Next story. Folks, we live in a time where even the most unlikely person can become somewhat of a politician, a favorable politician, someone who gets elected, who wins a race. No, I'm not talking about Mondale Robinson. Mondale's actually a very smart guy with a lot of credibility and a lot of time under his belt in the political field. Give it up for Mondale Robinson, who won his race, who's now Mayor. I'm sorry. Mayor Mondale Robinson. Come to think, all this time I've been pissed off because I can't get anybody with progressive ideals elected, and then goes this guy. Right there the whole time. Well, I did have Cori Bush on before she got elected, so that's a good thing. But like I was saying, we live in a time where you could be if you're popular, you could run for office and win. Look at what's happening right now in Georgia with Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker can't complete a sentence, but somehow people like him more than Warnock. And I can't say I blame him too much because Warnock is kind of a goofy mofo who's toothless, spineless, and not a very interesting person. Yeah, man, if you black and you can't ride for black people, what's the difference between you and Herschel Walker? Man, I heard a guy ask, I saw a video of Irony that Irony posted of Herschel Walker being asked a question about reparations, and he threw out more word salad than Kamala Harris and Amy Klobuchar combined. And that's supposed to be the guy in a state that's 35% black? You can't say black with your chest in a 30% black state? Jesus Christ. And people gave Bernie shit. This guy is black. And Bernie's from Vermont. Okay. Just saying. They're all very disappointing, aren't they? It is disappointing when we can't stand up. So anyway, Herschel Walker may defeat Warnock. And you ain't gonna help the people. What difference does it make? I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna call if it don't matter who we call, nobody shows up, what difference does it make what number you dial? I'm just saying. All right, back to my point. I understand the frustration, I do. But folks, I'm trying to wrap my head around this shit here.
My father taught me how to handle my first gun. I taught my son Oliver how to do the same. I've been shooting and hunting my whole life. So when people say I won't support guns, they're dead wrong. Boom! Other conservatives know that I'm strong on the Second Amendment. Ted Nugent, Rick Perry, President Trump. But our Second Amendment is not just about hunting. It's about our constitutional right to protect ourselves from intruders or an overly intrusive government. So as your next U.S. Senator, I will fight for our constitutional rights.
I mean, just the fact that we got people out here who believe in Dr. Oz. I mean, I don't want to contradict my opening when I say things are as bad as they've always been. But Jesus Christ. Dr. Oz? And what does he mean? We got to have guns to protect ourselves from an overreaching government. What do you plan to do, Oz? With your Falcon Crest rifle. Yeah. What do you plan to do? You ain't look like you haven't missed a meal in the last 30 years, motherfucker. What are you planning to do? I dare you to walk down I would say Harlem. I dare you to walk down Staten Island, motherfucker, without your bodyguards. I'd like to see you go to an ATM in, I would say Southeast D.C., but it's so gentrified, in Capitol Heights, Maryland at 2 a.m. in the morning without your crew with you. These guys with their, we're going to protect ourselves from the government. You can't protect yourself from a fucking virus on your computer. These guys are horrific, man. They're full of shit. But the worst part about it is there are people that buy it. And listen to a guy like Dr. Oz who shows nothing at all. I mean, absolutely zero zilch. No demonstration of anything whatsoever as far as leadership, as far as actually know what the fuck he's talking about. And they somehow, some way, want to put their belief in him. But similar to Donald Trump's election, that shocked a lot of the liberals, that made some independent media cry. Fucking melt down is more like it, Johnson. We talking scanners, faces melting like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ah! Similar to Donald Trump, Johnson, the point is that people are so frustrated. They're just rolling the dice on something new, and I get it, Johnson. But between Herschel Walker, Dr. Oz, if this is how far you go for something new, maybe my mama was right. These are the last days. I'm just saying, Johnson, this shit's crazy. I mean, come on, man. Come on, folks. You gotta admit, Dr. Oz is not somebody that you would trust with your damn future. This guy was just prescribing diet pills and other methods of cleaning one's bowels that didn't work effectively. And now he's running for fucking office, Congress, and people might elect him because he just won his primary. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. I know you didn't ask me. Something's wrong with us, Johnson. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Man, we got a case of the America. We got a case of the Americas, what we got, Johnson. We got a case of the United States. We got a case of the United Corporations of America. We have been so used and abused and led astray and bamboozled and fooled and lied to and tricked, deceived. People are dying from illnesses that they caught from their own country, in their own country, drinking their own fucking water, or eating their own food, or going to take a pool, take a swim in a dip in a lake, or take a shower in their own fucking houses, to the point they don't know what to think, what to believe. And then we blame them for believing conspiracy theories. Here goes a conspiracy theory. America doesn't give a fuck. And I know that's not nice to say, that's impolite, and I told Mrs. Black I was going to watch the language. But I can't. It's too fucked up, Mrs. Black. Speaking of that stuff, I got my own conspiracy theory, so I don't even want to come down. Look, hey, conspiracy theory people, check this out. Every once in a while, I get a message from Rockfin, and Rockfin's like, are you ready for a dose of conspiracy theory? Do you got a hankering for some bullshit? I just find it funny, y'all. That's all. It's very lucrative, man. Everybody, they need a new Alex Jones. All right, here we go. If you saw last Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday's show. If you saw last Tuesday's show, you know I did a segment about a young woman, a black woman being shot. A pregnant black woman in Kansas City, Missouri was shot 5 times by police officers. I covered this story. Now here's the thing about that story. Bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit. Kinda. Not totally, but kinda. Here's where the conspiracy theory comes in. Now, first of all, Yes, there was a woman who said she was pregnant, who was shot 5 times by police. The thing is, she may have had a gun. But, whoa. Here's the thing. Now, check this out. I got clips. I got stuff. Let's see. Okay, so here goes the woman who's on the ground. She's been shot 5 times. She's bleeding from around. Looks like the belly area. It looks pretty bad. Okay? There goes an officer attending to this person. The woman's name is Leona Hale. I think she's 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken. There goes the officer that, right after shooting him, pointing a gun at her. I guess that's to him. I can't be certain. It could be a woman. Here's the problem. There goes Leona Hale with a gun in her hand. That's a gun in her hand. As reported by KCTV 5. The new update came, the new update information, KCTV 5. The Missouri investigates Kansas City police shooting a pregnant black woman, Leona Hale. Now, folks, a bystander released a social media video claiming the woman was unarmed and pregnant. It went viral. Turns out the woman isn't even pregnant, something her family and pastors verified. This is from Quentin, the mayor of Kansas City. So here goes the thing, and this is the part that I got to talk to you about. Folks, I think there's a concerted effort to lie to us about what happens in order to rile us up, in order to make money, only to come back and say, hey, stupid. We get another news cycle of cleaning it up. What I'm saying is this. Kansas City, Missouri is only a rock's throw away from Ferguson. You remember Ferguson? That's the place where all this shit started with the murder of Michael Brown. You would think if Kansas City Police Department, if they had actual body cam footage that shows that Leona Hale had a gun in her hand when she was shot, why would they not release this the day they had it? Hey, man, the narrative that was put out by the witness, and it was only one witness, there was no body cam footage. I did not hear a press conference refuting it. Nothing. On like the 27th of May, I didn't cover the story until June 1st. So for 3 or 4 days, there was no word from the police department about what was on the body cam footage, that it showed that Leona Hale actually had a gun in her hand, or any of that. And then all of a sudden, June 1st or 2nd, June 2nd or 1st, it comes out, oh, we got a picture. Here goes a still shot from the body cam that shows Leona Hale with a gun in her hand. What I'm getting at, folks, is why would they wait so long in order to at least let us know that they have this footage? You can't tell me that they're so aloof that they don't know that bad things can happen within their state while they try to figure this shit out. This is the place that there was protest for almost a month over the killing of Michael Brown. And then we have another narrative of a black woman with her hands up. That's what the bystander said, being shot a number of times, 5 times, and she's pregnant. And the lady said, and the witness said that Miss Hale was unarmed. Folks, if you were the mayor of that city, if you were the police chief of that city, would you have just sat back and let that narrative run wild on social media and go viral without at least saying, hold on, folks, we got body cam footage that we're going to release soon, and when you see it, you're going to change your opinion, so please, just wait until we release it. But there was no such press release from the police department. They allowed us to think that there was no refuting evidence. They allowed us to believe that they shot a woman 5 times, who was pregnant, who was unarmed, only to come back and say, look what we got. Now, I want to be very clear here, folks. Just because someone has a gun in their hand does not mean you get to shoot them 5 times. I still want to see the body cam footage because I want proof that Mrs. Hale was holding that gun in her hand when she was shot. Because if she threw that gun, if she was trying to get rid of that gun, or like, look, guys, I don't have a gun anymore, and then you shoot her, well, that's still attempted murder. That's still excessive force. That's still trying to kill someone. So I still want to see the footage. Get what I'm saying? I still want to see under what circumstances did she have that gun. Because I don't think that Miss Leona McHale was so crazy, Miss Hale, that she would run at the cops with that gun. She didn't run at the cops with that gun. She's trying to get away from the cops. There were several cops with guns pointed at her, and she's running with a gun in her hand? I don't think so. I think she had that gun in her hand, was trying to flee, and she tried to toss that gun. I've seen it happen. I've seen that happen. So I'm not conceding that everything's done and we know exactly what happened because we see a still shot from the body camera. See, here in Washington, D.C., we have a rule. This was a rule created by Mayor Muriel Bowser, which is not my mayor. I live in Maryland. Mayor Muriel Bowser of Washington, D.C. came up with a new rule that they would release body cam footage within 24 hours. Now, I don't think they always do it, or they sometimes get close, or maybe a little bit behind schedule. But that's the rule that they adopted. You know why they adopted that rule? They adopted it to keep from having craziness. Yeah, from having people pile into the streets. It at least gives people an opportunity to say, okay, let's look at the body cam footage. If you're not going to make a rule like that, you know, because you care about your citizens, you care about the temperature of your city, you care that people have to live next door to each other and not think that they're being hunted by the cops, you care that kids go to school not thinking, damn, I hope they don't shoot my mama 5 times for nothing, okay? The least you could do is say, hey, we got the footage and it's coming soon. But folks, believe me, I never would have did that story the way I did that story. If the police would have said, we got some footage that we're going to release, I would have maybe said the stuff I said about how horrible it is that a black woman, pregnant black woman gets shot this way, in the street, unarmed. Meanwhile, you want to talk about how black people are taking over. That's part of the whole narrative of these white supremacists who shut up the top supermarket. You remember that? The blacks are taking over. Meanwhile, black women can't even get pulled over and get a ticket like everyone else and go to jail like a nice white lady would. But I never would have ran with that narrative if I would have known that there was body footage. If the cops said there was body cam footage, If the cops said there were body cam footage that would possibly challenge the narrative that was given or the statement given by the witness, I would have at least said it to you. I would have said, folks, this looks bad. Let's see what happens when they release the footage. So what I'm telling you is, I believe they don't release the footage on purpose. I believe they want us to be riled up, to be pissed off, to be angry. I think they're willing to let us go through that whole influx of emotions just so they can sell fucking hits and views. What other good reason would there be? I'm serious, guys. What other reason could there be? What other reason could it be for them not to say, hey, I got something to show you? If they got something to show you. I don't know. I have no evidence to this fact. It's just a gut feeling. But folks, it's a strong gut feeling. Because you don't get it this wrong without trying. You don't get it this wrong on accident. It takes intention to be this damn stupid. Think of all the people driving to work on their way to work. The emotional impact it has. I mean, to shoot a pregnant woman 5 times who's unarmed? Broad daylight? For a stolen car? It still doesn't make much sense. How can you not tell people, let us explain? We got something you're going to want to see. And don't tell me you were holding it back because you didn't want to disrespect the family. Hey, no one died. No one died. The person you arrested is alive and in the hospital. There's no one to clear it with, except your higher-ups. So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about this. Put a 1 in the chat if you think I'm on to something. If you think these police forces that withhold information should be held accountable for what happens afterwards. I think it's only decent, Johnson. I mean, hell, man. I can't come up with a better reason for them to do what they do. You know, if you had a friend, and if you were in a relationship, or if you had a friend, it's just common courtesy. Common courtesy. Hey, man, looks like you backed over my roses. Hey, man. Hey, yo, whoa. It wasn't me who drove over your roses. I got the ring footage. Yeah, I had my ring footage. I'm going to bring it over. Tonight, I got to work. When I get off work, no, tomorrow morning, I'm going to bring you the footage, man. All right? You're going to want to see it. Before you get, hey, just hear me out. Let me bring the footage over. I mean, that's what a neighbor would do. So basically what I'm telling you is that these police forces, they're not neighbors. At least not good ones. So when people sit around pointing fingers, they go, oh, look at all these people. They get riled up. They do these things. They jump to conclusions. I think they get a little bit of help from the police force. Some things could be avoided. Yeah. Makes sense? All right. All right, guys, now let's open up phone lines. I've done enough yipping and yapping and talking for a minute. Let's see what the rest of my crew has to say here on the Freedom Friday show. That sounds cheesy as hell. On the Freedom Friday show. That sounds kind of Gary V-ish. On the Freedom Friday show. Maybe I should do it more often. That guy got millions of followers. You should work until your nose bleeds. Don't listen to negative talk. Fuck everybody else. Thousands of likes. Most basic shit. Wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Like. Always bet on yourself. Like. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but do it anyway. Like. Oh my God, how do you know? That's my situation. Damn, he's talking to me. It's like he's in my head, man. I heard he was rapping now. All right. Let me get my headphones ready, John. So we're gonna go to phone lines. Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. Oh, I'm trying to tell you, Johnson, it's crazy. It is crazy. I don't even know what to tell you else. It's just that crazy, Johnson. It really is that crazy. All right, the phone number's up. Is the phone line even working tonight? I mean, I thought I checked this. Is it even working tonight? All right, I'll give it a second, guys. It is working. 319-527-6212 is the number you dial into if you have something you want to comment on. This or something else. Because I know some of these stories, some of you might not have heard of that. But it's all good. It's excellent. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. Let's go to our comment section once we get the phone lines up and going. Nancy Drew, Katrina Watson, Sir King Bishop in the house. Give it up for my Wolfpack members. We got David Melford in the house on moderation. What's up, my brother? Susan Gould in the house. And we got the crew. Yes. What the hell? Alicia's in the house. Violet and Content Boutique. Thank you, Johnson. Thank you for being here. My crew. Sound of the times. If you just joined. Sharon, hit the like button. Sharon, hit the like button. Wow, okay. But strapped killers were handled with care. It says, but strapped killers were handled with care. See, that's what I was talking about. But think about the way they're trying to control the narrative. First of all, they know this thing goes viral with this witness. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna take my conspiracy theory a step further. Yeah, I'm gonna go a double down. Who was that, my brother, who said this? My brother and my sister? The Yuma Boutique. The Yuma Boutique says, but strapped killers were handled with care. Here's my point. Here's me going a little bit further with the conspiracy. Folks, who's to say the witness was not planted? Who's to say the witness wasn't planted? Now, I know it's impossible to prove a negative, to disprove a negative. But what I'm saying is, it just seems kind of ironic that there was this witness yelling at the top of her lungs that this woman was shot 5 times and somehow omits the fact that there was a gun in her hand. At some point, it appears to be the woman in question. If you look at the picture of who's on the ground, same t-shirt, same pants, looks the same. So what I'm saying is, this information goes viral. It makes the police look horrible. People pile on, people go crazy. Oh my God, pregnant black woman shot 5 times. This goes around the world a couple of times. It simmers for days, fanning the flames. Then, instead of releasing the body cam footage, they release a still shot of the woman running with a gun in her hand. Get what I'm saying? Just seems a little fishy. Why not release the body cam footage? What's the difference between releasing a picture, a still shot, and the full body cam footage? Unless you want to change the narrative very quickly, change the narrative and make people all go, oh God, nothing to see here. I feel bad. I'm going to stop paying attention now because this is so bad and embarrassing. I can't believe I fell for what this witness said. And then you look the other way. And then later it comes out, she actually threw that gun away. She didn't have that gun on her when she was shot. Because she did not want to die, Johnson. And they shot her anyway. Like, that's very plausible. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to put it past them. I'm not going to put it past the Kansas City Police Department to be very cunning and strategic in what they do. Yeah, sometimes we fall too quickly into this mindset that people are just negligent. Everyone's negligent. Everyone just makes mistakes. Sometimes it's intentional. And the fallback from the intentional deceptive play is to say, did I do that? When you know damn well what you did, you plan to do it. David Melford says the table tilted game is rigged. Nobody noticed, nobody cared. George Carlin, give it up for that. Give it up for that. What the hell? I don't know. Are we done tonight? Are we done? No one's calling in tonight? I don't know if there's something wrong. Let me find out. Let me try 510 to see what we have going on tonight. Make sure this person can even hear the show. Hey, you're live on the Tim Black Show. Can you hear? Are the phones working?
You're calling.
I don't know, Johnson. I don't know what's going on here. But it does not look good. It does not look good. But that's okay. Folks, I guess we got technical difficulties. Things happen from time to time. What say you? Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anybody here have a problem when they called up to the phone line? How'd it go, Sir King Bishop? Did you call up? Anybody call up? Oh, God. Not this, bro. Mrs. Black. It's all good. Oh. I covered that story, T. Holmes. Okay, so this is good. So we'll do this. No problem, Johnson. T. Holmes, I covered this story in Tulsa. And it bothered me. It bothered me. It seriously bothered me that this story happened. That I had to report on it. But I had to report on it. It's what we do. So there was a shooting. 4 people were murdered at a Tulsa, Oklahoma medical center. 2 patients, 2 doctors. Actually, 1 patient, 2 doctors, and a receptionist. Now, the shooter was like a 48-year-old man. But I'm not sure of his age. A black man, at the time they released it, he said between 35 and 40 years old, shot some folks in the hospital. That's what it was. He shot some folks in the hospital. Now, this is what I know now. I knew it was a black man, as I reported on Wednesday on the Pause show. I think it was on Pause. I thought initially maybe there was some disgruntled situation concerning this patient, not just a patient, but maybe a member of a family member, some type of argument, something, because they didn't release any information about who was shot. Turns out there was a patient who had back problems. He had been at the clinic to get help a couple of times. He's seen the same doctor a number of times, at least 3 times, complaining about back pain and said the pain was excruciating. So he kept coming back and forth to the hospital or to the clinic for a follow-up. Apparently, based on our information, the day before the shooting, he went and brought a gun. He went and bought a AR-15 rifle-style gun. He went up to the hospital. He shot the black doctor or surgeon, a white female doctor or surgeon, the receptionist, and the patient who was trying to defend his wife, a 75-year-old vet. And then he killed himself. So, folks, and what's ironic about this whole thing is that I recently watched John Q. So I'm watching John Q. I don't know if you remember John Q, but it's the movie where Denzel Washington plays the father of a son who has a congenital heart condition, suddenly realizes it, and then, for whatever reason, because we have such shitty healthcare in America, he's not covered under his insurance policy for his son. So his son's going to die unless he gets a transplant, but the hospital or his medical coverage will not cover it, and John Q takes over the hospital, holds people hostage, in order to force a hospital to do a transplant for his son. So I just saw this the other day. And then I read this story. And folks, I'm sitting there trying to figure out what possessed this man. Now I know often we call people insane. We say that they are psychotic, that people have just lost their minds. We do these things, but I don't want to be dismissive. To say someone's crazy is dismissive. I don't even want to say that. What I'm trying to get to is the man who killed these people should have never, ever. I give no cover whatsoever, Johnson. No cover at all for the murderer of these 4 individuals. These people were doing their jobs. You may not like the jobs that they were doing, but the patient wasn't even doing a job. And the receptionist has no control at all over the practice of the medical professional. Okay? So I'm not in any way condoning what this man did under any circumstance. What I'm saying is, though, what I'm trying to say is this. What kind of a country do we live in? That people are crying so much for help that they will return to a hospital 3 and 4 times. Be in agony. Go get a gun. To kill the people trying to help them. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Like I'm trying to logically figure it out. That's all I'm trying to do. Would you, like, who kills a person who's trying to help them? The person trying to get you relief? Or do you feel for some reason these people are not trying to give you relief? Do you feel these people are impediments for your relief? And that's where my John Q situation or narrative comes to mind. And I'm just saying, why would this man shoot his doctor? A doctor takes a Hippocratic oath to help put you out of pain, to serve you, to treat you, to care for you. That's the pledge a doctor takes. He kills his doctor. And we can't say he killed his doctor because his doctor was a racist and wouldn't treat him. It's a black doctor. He killed a black doctor, a white female doctor, a white receptionist, 40 years old, a mom with kids and a husband. People loved her. All these people are loved people. It's just, I don't want to just call it madness. What I'm saying is, when people are saying we need to take a long look at what we do in this country, what I'm saying is, there is a reason why this happened. And if people could sit back, like they love to do, whenever an 18-year-old white kid decides to go shoot up kids they don't know, okay? Or we could sit back and pontificate and talk about, oh, we need to really get to the bottom of the inner feelings of these little white kids who are upset because someone called them Dookie Boy. Someone called them Smelly, okay? Hey, I'm not making fun of that. All of us were teased. You're talking about a chubby kid with a lazy eye. I've been called everything, who didn't salute the flag in school. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go back up to the school and try to hurt anybody. Okay? So, but if people could sit back and hold panel after panel, have conversation after conversation about what we need to do as a society to help keep these white kids from shooting babies in schools, can we have a conversation about what's happening in our healthcare department, our healthcare for our citizens, when our citizens feel so betrayed by our doctors, given the state of our healthcare, that we're coming back to the clinic and killing doctors? Not because they're performing some type of procedures that we don't agree with, but because they were trying to help us. And all I'm saying is, we should take a look at that. The same way we look at other situations, the other scenarios. What I see too often, folks, is when the perpetrator of the violence is black, they dismiss it as being barbarians, they dismiss them as being thugs, they dismiss them as being bloodthirsty animals and killers, and they don't sit back and be as reflective as they are with some other folks. It's a box that we're put in. Well, I expect more of my audience. I do, because I have an audience that's more enlightened. Obviously. You're watching a black man Some of you are paying to do so. You're chipping in to do so. So I'm not indicting all white people. Even though you are a majority in the United States society, you don't control this country any more than I control this country. But some of you do have more power, obviously. That's where the whole current thing comes from. My point is, over and over, when it's us, when it's black men particularly, and black women as well, but it's black women, angry black woman, that's the trope. That's the thing, it sells. Not allowed to have the emotional gamut, to run the emotional gamut as the white one. Not allowed to have the moments, the releasing of emotions, the sadness, to be depressed, to be overwhelmed, to be afraid. It's like one gear for black women, mad, angry, sassy. You know what I'm saying? That's it, and that's over. Black men, it's angry. Unless you're wearing a skirt, then it's angry with a skirt. Get where I'm going? This is the doing of a society. This is societal narratives that have been painted for us. This is what we have. And all I'm saying is, once again, I am not condoning what happened. I am not condoning. If anyone knows me, anyone who watches my show knows I do not condone murder. I do not condone violence. Unless you defend yourself. But what possesses a person to go back to the place that's trying to help you? He went back a number of times to see that doctor for help. The medication's not working. My back is killing me, doc. I need help. The medication's not working, doc. My back is killing me. I need your help. The medicine's not working. I need your help. And then he goes, he gets a gun, and he comes back, and he shoots that doctor. Does someone maybe not believe that he was hurt? That he was hurting? I don't understand. I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, it could be whatever. It could be a situation where this person, this killer, was a psycho, was a narcissist, was an evil person. That could be it. That could be the end of the day. But I would like to have the ability to take a pause for a second and think about it. Not demonize him, and think about what fucking possessed him. And what are the checks and balances of an institution that would have patients in that type of pain just walking out the doors of the hospital? I mean, that's the place you're supposed to go to get help. Sounded to me like he would have been better off with a friend in the alley, hanging out with Snoop Dogg and some of his rap friends and smoking some weed in the back of a 64. At least that way, no one would have been shot. Look, guys, I'm not suggesting at all. And I want to be very clear that my condolences to the families of those that suffered because of this man's actions. I just want to know what happened. I want to know what possessed him. And maybe there's information out there that I don't know about that's already out there. I just haven't seen it. You know, there are several news sites. I haven't read what family has said. Maybe he's got family. Someone can give us insight. Did he have an emotional break? Did he have a psychological break? It's all possible. It's just going to the hospital. It's shooting the guy that gave you medicine. Shooting the guy that's trying to help you, it just seems... It's kind of hard to wrap my head around. And I covered a lot of tragedy. I've covered a lot of tragedy over the years. What's up, Ty, baby? What's going on, Ty? Damn. Bose Einstein said maybe the shooter was brainwashed by QAnon and saw doctors as reptilians. Man, brother, I do not. Bose, I don't know. At least that's the theory, right? That's the theory, because I got nothing, man. And maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree, man. But maybe trying to figure out why someone did something is like futile. Unless he left a note saying, hey, this is why I'm doing this. How the hell would I know? America needs to join the first world and get universal health care. Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Makes sense. You know? Tyler Hackner, thank you for the support. Nancy Drew, thank you. Freedom Friday, been waiting all week for the best show for people who hate the news. Cut the check. Love to the Wolfpack. Thank you, Nancy. T. Holmes, they all treat us like junkies. Don't get seriously hurt. The opiate epidemic, the doctors are scared now. My brother. And I'm assuming that could be my brother or my sister. My friend, T. Holmes. I thought about that too. Sometimes when people are in pain, they'll tell you that they're in pain, and the doctors don't believe it. They think you want a prescription so that you can go get high or even sell the pills. So one of the things that's going on with the chronically in pain, those people are paying a high price for the other people that are abusing the pharmaceuticals. I don't think people talk about this enough, to be honest. There's two sides to the coin. There are people who need access to these pills for pain management, and they're having to jump through hoops, and medical professionals looking at them with the side eye, like, you really in pain? Prove it. Type of thing. And if it comes, it's particularly when it comes to things like neck and back, you can't really see that under an x-ray. You don't know how much pain someone's in. When they ask you to rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10, they don't know if your 7 is a 7 to them, or your 10 is a 2, or if it's a 12. You know where I'm going? Tony D, I think it's important to investigate the motives of mass shooters. If we could get something out of it, Tony. You know what I'm saying? Ty, there needs to be tiers of police. The guy who comes to the house with domestic abuse should not be the same guy pulling you over for a turn signal. And seat belts. I think the officers who pull over cars shouldn't be carrying guns. And look, Ty, I want to agree with you, brother. I want to ride with you on that, bro. I really do. Here's the problem. When we pull people over, sometimes those people come out shooting. Sometimes those people got warrants. And those people don't want to be apprehended. They don't want to go back to jail, so they shoot. I don't know how often it happens. The doctor said if we come up with 40,000, they could save my mom with a surgery. They gave her 3 months. She lived another 6 months and died at 52. All right, T. Holmes, I wasn't ready to hear that one. I was not ready to hear that one, Johnson. T. Holmes just made a comment. T. Holmes said, the doctor said we could save your mom if you can come up with $40,000. If not, I give her 3 months. They put a price tag on this mom's life, Joe. This is the thing. This is the thing that we've been talking about. Now, everyone knows my politics has changed somewhat. I've gotten a lot more cut and dry. I've gotten a lot more gone with the windish. Like, yo, if you ain't gonna go my way, then you gone with the wind. I'm gone with the wind. Okay? I'm out the window with you. But I've always been a fierce advocate for universal health care. And there have been people that say, what, you know, I strongly believe the people that don't take health care as serious as it is, they just haven't experienced what you've experienced, T. Holmes, which is a loved one dying prematurely due to lack of health care. They just haven't experienced it. Very recently, I heard someone make this type of claim. What good is living longer if you don't XYZ, if we don't have more money? Hey, you know what? I don't think this is... I'm not buying it. We can want both things. And we can demand both things. We can demand health care and reparations. We can demand health care and student debt relief. It's supposed to be our fucking country. We should be able to demand those things of this country that we pay into, that our families have raised us in, that we are citizens of. It's the corruption that holds us back from getting this thing, from getting what's due to us as citizens. Get where I'm going? So, and when we start talking about reparations, we start talking about what a country owes you, from systemically denying you access to freedom, pursuit of happiness, and fair shake. When we start talking about that, folks, there ain't a cap on that shit. There's not a cap on it. So, I still believe all of the above is necessary, is worth fighting for, is important. But I do understand some people's focus, laser-like focus. I get it. Because it's like we don't get the same support for our issues concerning Black Americans. I get that part. I live it. I get it. And look, guys, everything that we're talking about, everything that we want, we shouldn't even be talking about. We should be battling climate change because we should already have had reparations 100 years ago, at least. We should already have had universal health care 100 years ago, at least. And we should have already had free schools 100 years ago, at least. This is all very old shit that should have been taken care of. You, I, all of us should not even be discussing it. If you're tired of hearing Tim Black bring up reparations, health care, or student debt, guess what? I shouldn't have to. Because it should already be ours by birthright. That's it. These things that divide us shouldn't divide us because they should not exist. They should not exist. You got a Homestead Act? We should have got a Homestead Act. You got the GI Bill? We should have got the GI Bill. You get help to start your business? We should get help to start our business. Right? It should have been that way to begin with. We should all have universal health care because we live in a country that can afford to do it. What good is living in a first world country if you can't get sick? As if anyone chooses to get sick. What good is it? Can I get some more likes in here, Johnson? We got some people watching. We need at least 200 likes. Can we get some more likes? Can I get some more support for the show? Look, I know there's other places you can go. But I want YouTube to know that we do this, that we speak truth to power on this channel, and that we mean business, that we are serious, and that we have engagement from our viewership. Unlike some other channels, we have engagement. People care about the issues that we discuss on this channel because they are important. These issues that keep us separated, these issues that drive a wedge between folks, these issues that keep us up at night, these are not issues we should have to deal with. We have other things that we should have to deal with. There's a lot that we should have to deal with. Yes, we should have to deal with climate change. Yes, we should maybe have to deal with the water situation, bad pipes, potholes, but we should not be bartering, having to reason with why people need health care, or why black people need to not have a wealth gap the size of the fucking Sahara Desert. Like, these things we should not be talking about because they should have been handled, not even by you or your parents, by your parents' parents' parents. That's how far back that shit should have been handled. Way back when they're going to originally handle it. Once they set us free, they should have said, here you go. Start over, shook hands, and started the world, started the country over. But they did not. So we're sitting here, we're trying to figure it out. Some of us are trying to fight for things that matter. But we should not have to choose between these things. All of it. We should have all of this. You should have, your kids should have it all. What good is living in a first world country? What good is living in this country? People keep saying the last superpower. What's good about it? Because we can watch fucking Ozarks and The Boys on Prime? Fuck out of here. That's nothing to clap about. Because we got Instagram and TikTok. We're supposed to be happy that we have access to these things because the Boston Celtics are in the finals? Well, anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody who came through tonight. Everyone who supports this show, thank you for supporting this show. Thank you for being a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. I appreciate you. I'm not going to give up. I know this is a different type of show. I get it. You know, talk about very heavy subject matter. I get it. Not for everyone. It's not too much in the minutia of policy, whatever the fuck. It's not enough. We are gonna, revolute. I don't know what the fuck, but I know I care about what we discuss. I know I care about you, and I know that we are all in this together if we choose to be. So I want to thank everyone, all my members of the Tim Black Wolfpack. If you're new here, go to jointimblack.com, become a member. It starts at only $5 a month. I know we're going to be back Tuesday with another show, and the phone lines are going to open. I don't know what happened tonight. Shit happens. Thank you, Ramona Lawson. I know one thing. Hashtag no easy wins. Hashtag no easy wins, Johnson. We ain't going to win this easy. Obviously, it's going to be the fight for our lives. It's going to be the fight of our lives, for our lives. But remember, we don't do this just for us. We do this for our kids. We do this for kids we don't even know. We do this for kids we will never meet. You understand what I'm saying? That's what this is. This is that serious. So, I want to thank everybody who's here, who took time out of their Friday to get pissed off with me. You know? To get pissed off with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. We lost Patrice O'Neal, George Carlin. Yeah. Noah McDonald. Richard Pryor. Charlie Murphy. Dan Cook still alive. It is what it is, Johnson. I should have said Mencia. Carlos Joke Stealer. Yeah, okay, I'll take Carlos Johnson. Carlos Mencia. Oh, God. That's it, guys. I'm going to go get a beer, okay? Yes, a beer. It's bad. I'm doing it anyway. I got nothing but love for you. I'll see you next week. Be safe. All you Johnsons, be safe. Keep preaching, Brother Tim. True morality and patriotism is fighting for each of us, each of our sisters and our brothers. That's what it is, Ramona. Thank you for reminding me I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. We do this for a reason. All right, guys, one more time. Hashtag cut the check. Hashtag Wolfpack.